up on News Live at 6, how Syracuse businesses are impacted by St. Patrick's Day.
Plus, new construction coming to Hancock International Airport, while upgrades are coming to the transportation hub.
And Onondaga County is currently under a wind advisory warning. I'll have more on what that means in just a few minutes. News Live at 6 starts right now.
Campus News Leader.
St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, and Syracuse businesses are getting ready for the festivities. Welcome to News Live at 6. I'm Anjana Dasam.
I'm Tyler Oldano. Our Grace Mikulski is at Guilfoyle's Pub, Irish Pub, to tell us more about how the holiday is impacting the bar.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, and for local bars like this one, preparation begins long before the actual holiday. I'm here at Guilfoyle's Irish Pub, where the owner is already cooking up one of the biggest nights of the year.
St. Patrick's Day, along with Parade Day and Christmas Party and Super Bowl, are like our big ones. And we passed that record by over $700 on Parade Day.
This year, St. Patrick's Day falls on a Tuesday, shifting many celebrations, including Syracuse's annual parade, to the weekend. But for Guilfoyle's, owner Kevin Schultz says the holiday means big business no matter what day it lands on. This year, cooking up over 120 pounds of corned beef alone.
Not many places you can go and get a drink tomorrow for $2.50, so tried to draw people in with stuff like that, and just we can and offer corned beef cabbage and dinners and sandwiches and all that.
Guilfoyle's will be open Tuesday with drink specials and corned beef dinners, and Schultz says he's already got 12 dinner orders waiting when the doors open.
Some people take off work. Everyone's sick on, the 17th and 18th of March somehow, some way, so we'll have people.
For Schultz, it's not just about sales, but rather carrying on an 80-year tradition that has kept Guilfoyle's a Syracuse destination for St. Patrick's Day for generations. Reporting live from Guilfoyle's Irish Pub, I'm Grace Mikulski. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Grace. Well, speaking of traditions, on-campus housing selection for next year begins this week. Selection is separated into 4 rounds, each with their own dates and requirements, and here they are right now. Those living in an LLC can select their room tomorrow, and this is of course followed by those looking to get a 2- or 3-bedroom apartment on South Campus. That starts on Thursday. And general campus-wide selection, that begins next Monday, with time slots ranging throughout the week, being randomly assigned to students depending on, well, it's random. An open round selection for students who did not select in any of those prior rounds, that takes place on March 31st and April 1st. Start your engines, guys. It's time for the yearly run to get housing.
And Multicultural Week starts today and is hosted by the Student Government Association. Events include a dance clinic, a film screening, crafts, and trips to the market. These events are all in association with SGA and various student clubs on campus.
As of yesterday, the Zeta Beta Tau fraternity is under investigation by Syracuse University. ZBT is the 5th fraternity and 6th Greek organization to be placed under investigative status by the university this year. They followed the Sigma Lambda Upsilon sorority, whose status was imposed last Thursday.
And the Syracuse Government Association shared today that they added 300 synchronous seats to their upcoming event with comedian Brittany Broski. Those attending will be able to see the event in the Shine Underground through a live stream from Goldstein Auditorium. The show is this weekend at 7 p.m. Tickets were free for all Syracuse and SUNY ESF students as of 5 p.m. today, but have sold out since. Excuse me, sorry. Tickets are still available on the University Union website.
We'll give it time, it may be selling out soon. National Grid says they're preparing for storms and heavy winds tonight. And the National Weather Service has also advised that wind advisories will be appearing for Syracuse and the surrounding areas. Repairs are already underway following damage from this past weekend, and the same can be expected with 60-mile-per-hour winds forecasted through Tuesday. National Grid has put their emergency response plan in place and says they're prepared for any possible outages. According to the National Weather Service, the people should stay away from down power lines and watch for debris or tree limbs in the case of high winds.
You know, Tyler, today we started off so warm, so great, and then boom, so much rain, so much wind, as we were seeing that those winds are going to continue, which is very unfortunate here in Syracuse right now.
Exactly. I mean, I walked out to my car today. It was bright sun, blue skies. It was the picturesque spring day, and then now we're talking about winds, down power lines. Skylar, what's it looking like out there?
Yeah, Anjana and Tyler, it is quite cold outside and quite windy. Onondaga County is currently under a wind advisory warning, meaning that wind gusts can increase up to 50 miles per hour. So definitely keep this in mind tonight. It is going to continue until tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and it's making it feel a lot colder than it actually is outside, and it feels a lot colder than it was earlier in the day when we saw some sunshine. It is currently 42 degrees outside, and tonight temperature is expected to drop down to 32 degrees, but it's going to feel like 19 degrees because of these heavy wind gusts. So again, make sure you're bundling up and being cautious of this heavy wind. As well, at 9 p.m. this rain behind me is going to turn into snow. We can expect about an inch of snow to accumulate overnight. So again, tomorrow morning, if you're heading outside, be aware of the wind and the snow on the ground. That's all I have for now, though. I'll have more on this week's weather conditions when I'm back in the studio.
Thanks, Skylar. And as of today, lane closures on Interstate 81 southbound are impacting drivers between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. The closures span from Destiny USA and surrounding exits to downtown near popular restaurants like Funk and Waffle and Possibilities.
Now, if you're going to travel these roads, it is encouraged to plan a bit more time into your commutes, as driving through the area is going to be a little bit slower, as it is considered a work zone. Crew will take down the Court Street Bridge, and they are expected to continue on weekdays through April 3rd.
And big changes coming to Syracuse Hancock International Airport as they start construction today on a new consolidated rental car facility. This is part of the airport's plan to simplify and create a more effective system for rental car operations. The construction will temporarily shut down Arrivals B and the overflow parking lot. In the meantime, drivers are encouraged to use the cell phone lot to avoid congestion.
Well, staying at the airport, there are also plans to update baggage equipment with a $25 million budget from the state of New York. This funding will help pay for a $100 million baggage handling system, and that system, of course, includes high-speed conveyor belts and an increased ability to process bags. And they're finalizing the budget for this project and are set to reach a deal by April 1st.
And the Syracuse Police and Fire Departments will begin transitioning to a new location. The new facility is located on West Fayette Street. The move will take place in phases over the next several months. Emergency services will not be interrupted during the move. Operations for both departments currently take place at the Public Safety Building on South State Street.
Well, 2 Syracuse properties are nominated for a distinction on the state and national registers of historic parks. This means it will be officially recognized as a special significant place worthy of protection, giving these locations an opportunity to get access to funding, grants, and other various tax incentives. The first location nominated is the Collin Brothers Babson Brother Factory. That was actually a candy factory originally, but now it's a dairy factory. The other nominee is the Ignatius Feisner House, which is currently known for its association with the local immigrant community.
And Onondaga Community College has a new provost. The school appointed Hector Rodriguez as provost and senior vice president of academic and student affairs. Rodriguez was previously executive dean for STEM and institutional effectiveness at Hudson Valley Community College. He will take place effective June 1st.
And buyer beware, a Syracuse sweet shop, Hercules Candy, is recalling their dark chocolate blue raspberry cream eggs. They say this is because there is a possibility of peanut butter being in them without prior warning. A small number of the peanut butter cream eggs were mislabeled as blue raspberry ones. So far, no illnesses have been reported, but consumers are being urged to throw the product out.
And the Claytown Board is holding a public hearing on a plan to get rid of any noise restrictions for Micron construction. In the fall of 2024, the board voted to exclude the building from the town noise laws, but accidentally changed a section of the law that did not exist. The change being voted on would allow Micron to make noise around the clock with no limits. This new ordinance will also remove all noise limits on construction and demolition in the town's industrial district. The meeting is tonight at 7:30 at the town hall.
And New York Attorney General Letitia James is calling on the state legislature to pass a pair of bills aimed at protecting shoppers. James says the one fair price package will bar stores from using private information about consumers to set individual prices, and this practice, of course, is called surveillance pricing. James says it is unfair to customers, especially during an affordability crisis.
2 neighbors can buy the same item at the same time, but pay 2 different prices. Some are calling this new tactic algorithm pricing. Others refer to it as surveillance pricing. I call it predatory pricing. and it is time for us to take action against this dishonest practice.
Two bills are awaiting discussion by lawmakers and would outlaw both the collection and the use of data by stores for pricing changes.
Well, coming up on News Live at 6, we have more updates on the war with Iran, how President Trump is dealing with the economic impacts.
Plus, how the war is affecting your wallet and the increase of prices at the pump. Stick with us.
Rolling.
Sound is speeding.
Can you slow down that, please? This is 28-1.
28-1.
Live at 6 with Anjana Dasam, Tyler Oldano, and Skylar Smith. Now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back to the News Live at 6. As the war in Iran continues into its third week, Americans are starting to feel the impact on the gas pump.
Our Zara Malik has more on the increase in gas prices and how to save as a student.
As the war in the Middle East continues on, Americans are seeing a direct impact on gas prices.
So the Syracuse average was $2.98, and today it is $3.54. So it's about a 56-cent difference in the past 2 weeks, immediately following the first missile strikes in Iran.
AAA communication specialist Valerie Puma explained to me how the war on Iran has led to the price of crude oil to jump drastically, causing gas prices to increase more and more as the war continues.
And the Strait of Hormuz being a choke point for about 20% of the global oil industry. Any disruptions getting oil in and out of that strait is having a direct impact on crude oil prices.
Students like Christian are already frustrated seeing the impact of the gas prices on his weekly commute and expenses.
I have to drive like an hour each way for my internship twice a week, so like that definitely will impact that. Like I might try and do some more remote stuff. I think it used to cost me like just a little bit over $30 to fill up my tank, so definitely at least like an $8 to $10 increase.
The Trump administration this past weekend approved a BP project in order to counter the rise in gas prices. For CitrusTV News, I'm Zara Malik.
And more updates with the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump is asking about half a dozen countries to send warships to reopen the strait, and so far no countries have agreed.
That's right, Anjana. 1/5 of the world's traded oil travels through the strait. Trump mentioned that he would use the upcoming trip to China to pressure Beijing with this effort, but the notion was downplayed by his Treasury Secretary.
President Trump says, quote, "We strongly encourage other nations whose economies depend on the strait far more than ours. We want them to come and help us with the strait." The president lists Japan, China, South Korea, and several European countries as examples.
And Cuba is facing a nationwide blackout following a total collapse of their electrical grid. The blackout comes months after the U.S. effectively shut down oil flow to the island.
Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel said Friday that they had not received shipments in over 3 months. The island has been relying on solar power, natural gas, and thermoelectric plants for energy. Shipment stoppage coincided with the U.S. capture of former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
In a major blow to U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s agenda, a federal judge blocked multiple decisions made by him. The lawsuit brought by 6 medical organizations that claim Kennedy and his appointed panelists are not qualified to make decisions.
These include changes to childhood vaccine schedules, access restriction to the COVID-19 vaccine, and shortening a list of diseases covered by immunization. Kennedy has been a major skeptic of vaccines.
And the White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, has been diagnosed with early-stage breast cancer. Wiles says in a statement that she has a team of doctors guiding her care and has a very strong prognosis. Other details about the length of her treatment and her specific diagnosis have yet to be revealed.
And in a meeting at the Kennedy Center, President Trump showed his support. He called her a, quote, "amazing person and amazing fighter," who has a, quote, "minor difficulty." Wiles is known for helping steer President Trump's 2024 campaign and is the first woman to hold chief of staff.
And taking a look to the skies, top U.S. airlines are urging Congress to restore funding to the DHS. Their CEOs are asking legislators to pass the Aviation Solvency Act and the Aviation Funding Stability Act to guarantee pay for federal aviation workers, regardless of a full or partial government shutdown. This measure would also offer the same protections to TSA officers as well.
The executives wrote a letter to Congress asking to embrace this bipartisan solution, saying, quote, "once again, air travel is the political football and amid another government shutdown," end quote. This is the 3rd shutdown in less than a year that leaves TSA workers without pay.
And coming up on News Live at 6, I'll have your 5-day forecast. Stick with us.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, tomorrow and Wednesday we can expect snow, about 1 to 4 inches of accumulation because of this sharp cold front. Tomorrow we'll hit a high of 32 degrees and a low of 19 degrees. Wednesday we'll hit a high of 34 degrees and a low of 17 degrees. And then on Thursday we're going to see some rain with a high of 43 degrees and a low of 30 degrees. Friday it's going to be cloudy with a high of 47 degrees and a low of 32 degrees. And then Saturday, unfortunately, we will be seeing some more
snow with a high of 45 degrees and a low of 34 degrees. And around the region, the weather is ranging a little bit. You can see here in Syracuse, or in Rochester, we have a low of 41 degrees, pretty similar to how it is here in Syracuse. But then in Utica, we have a high of 63 degrees. And now that we're back from spring break, I wanted to highlight what some of the members of Citrus TV's Monday News Live at 6 did with their week. As you can see, a lot of us left the state of New York, and some of us even left the country. I went to Austin, Texas, which was so much fun. I went horseback riding, as you can see. Over here, Anna went to Cancun, Mexico. Anja and Jackson went to South Carolina. Grace went to Massachusetts, and so did Jess. Zara went to Brooklyn, New York. You can also see that Matt met the one and only John Oliver in New York. And then Tyler in the corner got a haircut down in Tampa, Florida. So I think we definitely all made the most of our week, not at school, but I'm definitely glad to be back in the studio with everyone. Back to you guys.
Skylar, thanks for that recap. Definitely looking back to being in studio as well. The NBA is looking to add 2 new expansion teams. The League Board of Governors is set to vote on adding franchises to Seattle and Las Vegas. Should they be approved, the teams would be added for the 2028-29 season. 23
of the 30-team governors would need to approve of this expansion in order for it to go through. The new franchises are valued at an estimated $7 to $10 billion, and of course, should it be approved, the NBA basketball would return to Seattle for the first time since 2008. The league has not expanded since 2004 with the Charlotte Bobcats. And speaking of that, Rahill, what do we got coming up on sports?
Thank you so much, Tyler and Anjana. Yeah, another day, another major test for Syracuse men's lacrosse. The Orange are riding a bit of a hot streak, but have a test against another top 15 squad. Find out more after the break.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back into News Live at 6. We're joined by our sports anchor, Rahill Jaiswall. Rahill, how you doing?
Good. How about you guys? I could wish for a little bit of better weather, but we're getting through it.
Well, speaking of sports, we got the big men's lacrosse game tonight. What can we expect?
Yeah, thankfully we were able to go on spring break, but not much for this Syracuse men's lacrosse team because it's another road game for the Orange. This is now 6 in a row. SU battles Denver tonight, and this has been something that has been just super interesting. 6 consecutive road games, but finally the Orange on their last of 6 consecutive road games, as I just said. In Denver, a top 15 team. The Orange sit right now at number 8 in the country, SU at number 8. And this is going to be a rematch of 2 years ago in the NCAA tournament when the Orange fell in the quarterfinals of the game. Now, it's going to be a tough one for SU. Denver's defense, extremely good, has the number 1 defense in the country, according to Lacrosse Reference, one of the best in all the land, but their offense tends to struggle. So this one is going to be a tough one. Denver enters the game at 4-2 with 2 of its losses coming against top 10 opponents. You can see there. Now, as I mentioned, the Pioneers struggle on the offensive side of the ball, only scoring 11 goals twice, but their defense is one of the best in the country. As I just mentioned, Lacrosse Reference has them as the best rated defensive efficiency team this year, and it held a top 10 Ohio State squad to only 6 goals. Should be a very interesting stylistic matchup. Syracuse's high-flying offense versus Denver's gritty, difficult defense. You can follow us at CitrusTV Sports for all live coverage. And over on the court, it's official. Syracuse women's basketball is going dancing for the second time in 3 years. After finishing the regular season 23-8, SU earned a 9 seed in the NCAA tournament. The Orange will take on 8th-seeded Iowa State in the first round down in Storrs, Connecticut. The Cyclones finished the year at 22-9. They're led by center Audie Cooks, the 6'3 juniors, averaging 25 points per game, while also grabbing 8 boards a contest. This could create a size nightmare for SU down low. And what's even worse is Syracuse guard Dominique Darius has been ruled out with a hand injury. The senior averaged just nearly 13 points a game, which is the 3rd most on the team. She's also the primary ball handler on this squad, but even with her absence, head coach Felicia Leggett-Jack could not contain her excitement to compete with her squad.
I just love this for them. You see them. They're such good young ladies. I tell you, I can't tell you all the stories I got to deal with. I'm like, are we actually having a meeting over this crap here? I feel like such a mother, and I love every second of it. And they are really fighting to stay and compete and love on each other. And this is what this game does.
Boy, how could you not love head coach Felicia Leggett-Jack? Anytime she takes the podium, it's something awesome. That contest is set for Saturday at 5:30. Once again, Citrus TV Sports will have you covered with that one. Now, switching over to the Diamond, Team USA took down the Dominican Republic 2-1 in the semifinals of the World Baseball Classic last night. After falling behind 1-0 early, Team USA's Gunnar Henderson and Roman Anthony both blasted solo home runs to give the U.S. the lead for good. But the main story was the pitching. Now, coming into this game, the DR's offense was the best in the competition by far, averaging just over 10 runs per game. But Team USA completely shut down an unbelievable Dominican Republic lineup. Pitcher Paul Skeens only gave up 1 run through 4 2/3 innings, and the bullpen followed suit, pitching a scoreless outing the rest of the way. Team USA will either play Venezuela or Italy in the final on Tuesday. But that's all I have for now. Guys, back to you.
Rahill, thank you. And coming up, we'll have one last look at your wake-up weather.
Stick with us.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hi, my name is Sadie Miller.
My name is Luke Brady. I go by St. Luke.
So this one I started with this guitar lick.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. If you're waking up for work or school tomorrow around 9 a.m., it is going to be 20 degrees, but it's going to feel like just 2 degrees because of these heavy wind gusts around 36 miles per hour. So make sure that you're keeping that in mind on your way to class or work. It is also going to be snowing, so make sure to wear the proper winter attire.
Thanks, and that's Citrus TV News live at 6 for this Monday.
Don't forget you can follow us on X and Instagram at CitrusTV News. Now for the entire CitrusTV News team, I'm Tyler Oldano.
And I'm Anjana Dasam. Have a great night, Syracuse.